here is the question that begs to be answered in today's video. Is the Philidor defense still relevant? Is it a suitable defense for beginners and intermediate level players? Well, the answer is yes. I would say if you know exactly what you're doing, you can also rely on it as an advanced player. Let me explain. After your opponent plays e4, and then you play pawn to e5, then knight f3, attacking your pawn. Yes, you can still play pawn to d6. Not objectively the best at super GM level, but the thing is, it is still playable. Trust me with all your fingers, guys. One move that kind of annoys black players is this pawn to d4 move. In fact, if you check the Masters database, you will see that pawn to d4 is the top played move. Even in the Lichess database, I guess. No, in the Lichess database, it's bishop c4 followed by pawn to d4, but it doesn't even matter. Once your opponent plays pawn to d4, what I recommend is to take, like what super grandmasters do. So you take. By the way, Carlsen also played this against Perez in 2020 September. So the whole idea is to transpose this back to the Paris defense. If you bought my e5 defense course, you already know what I'm talking about. Here you can play knight f6 if you want, attacking the e4 pawn immediately, or start with knight c6, the move that I like playing. So knight c6, challenging this knight. And what you will see most of your opponents doing is taking this knight. For example, after knight takes, you are happy to take with your b pawn. This might not make sense to you guys, but trust me, it's one of the best opening responses for black ever known. If you want to know more about the Paris defense, once again, check out my e5 defense course, which is suitable for all kinds of players of all levels. Whether you are an expert, a beginner, or an intermediate level player, that is the course you need. And I'm not just talking about money issues here, I'm talking about value and quality. Anyway, this is the ideal pawn structure that we always want to get in the Paris defense. If white plays knight c3, for example, now you go knight f6, and after something like bishop c4, I'm just making random moves, now you go bishop e7. By the way, if you want, you can start with bishop e7 before playing knight f6. That's what I highly recommended in my course. For example, bishop e7 here, just to show you that anything is playable. And after white plays something like bishop c4, you now go knight f6. After castle short, you castle short as well. And then look at the win rate in the Masters database, you guys. 40% for black against white's 30%, which must tell you something. Worse off, if white plays pawn to f4, you have a choice to go pawn to d5 immediately and start controlling the game, or stick to our main plan, which I advised in the video: knight d7, bishop f6, then pawn to a5, bishop a6, and so on. This is our game plan. We always want to put our dark squared bishop on f6, stopping pawn to e5 in the near future. But anyways, in this particular position, you can go pawn to d5, and say after pawn takes, it looks like we're going to lose a pawn after c takes d5, but that's not the point. We just want to give a check, and then after king h1, this is when we take back. Say, what happens if white takes with a knight? Are we not just down a pawn here? Well, not really. Our plan is to go knight g4 and threaten to play knight f2 check next to win some material. If queen f3, the move that most players like playing on Lichess, guess what? Here you can just take on h2 like this, sacrifice in your knight, and say after king takes h2, you go queen h4 check, and in this position, most of your opponents will play queen h3, which is a blunder, and that's how you are going to win their queen in just 15 moves. Again, after you play the Philidor defense and white plays d4, then you take and pop. Sometimes after knight takes, you won't see your opponents taking that knight. In fact, the top played move in this position, as you can see in the Masters database, is knight c3. They don't just want to take immediately. But you see, what I like doing here is to go bishop e7 and put my dark squared bishop on f6. That's okay, but to keep things simple, you can still go knight f6, still giving white one more chance to take your knight. If they play bishop b5, for example, you simply go bishop d7. If they take with any of the pieces, just go ahead and take back with your b pawn. If they castle short, you go bishop e7. One day you would love to put your dark squared bishop on f6. See, if they play something like rook e1, well, you just castle short. You're just waiting for them to take on c6, which they are going to do sooner or later, by the way. For example, if knight takes, you want to take back with your b pawn. And if bishop c4, since this time you don't have knight d7, the move you always want to play in order to pave way for your dark squared bishop, here you can even go knight g4, trying to provoke a weakness. For example, if pawn to h6, now you put your king's knight on e5, attacking the light squared bishop, and say if bishop b3 is played, you want to play pawn to f5, but you can't because of the bishop, so that's why you play king h8. This is just one of those strategic plans you can rely on. If pawn to f4, you always have knight g6, and sooner or later you're going to play pawn to f5. e5 is ridiculous. You can just take, and that will free up your dark squared bishop. If they play pawn to f5, you can just go back to this beautiful outpost where your knight can never be attacked by your enemy's pawns. So now that you know a bit of theory and our real intention in the Philidor defense, let me challenge a random chess player on Lichess. Hopefully they will play e4. But before I continue, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and share this video if you can, because that's the only way we're going to reach a larger audience. Because the more people we have on this channel, the more confident and motivated I become. Anyway, right, so I'm playing against a 1901 rated opponent. I'll just play the Philidor defense. I might transpose back to the Paris though. So pawn to d6. If d4, I'll take. Okay, I wasn't expecting this, so transposing back to the Paris now, my favorite defense in 2024. So castle shot. Let me just play knight c6. I intend to play knight h5, but there's this. I don't know what next I should do here. Maybe play pawn to h6, stopping knight g5 or bishop g5. So one plan that I know well in this position is this one, where we relocate the king's knight to the queen's side, put the dark squared bishop on f6 like this. If pawn to f4, I'll just take, by the way. Okay, so you can see my opponent is now attacking this. I don't care. So now I'm attacking the light squared bishop. If take, I'll take. I think I'll just take with my knight. Yeah, let me just remove. So if I want, I can also go after that bishop. I guess my opponent will play c3. Yep. What can I do here? Let me play bishop e6. I want to open up my f file. Okay, so now I can play f5. So you see what I was talking about. If pawn to f4, I'll just take. Can I take first, or yeah, let me just take, in order to remain with a fixed pawn structure though. And then I can play knight back to c6, is it? Like this, just strengthening my center. Okay, knight g4, I think I can play queen h5, just buying some time, also connecting my rooks. This is my other account, you guys. I don't usually play blitz. I am a fan of bullet chess, so don't be deceived by the rating. By the way, with queen h5, my other plan is to play... Sorry, with queen h4, my other plan is to play h5 and win the dark squared bishop. Like in this position, what can I do? Maybe involve my other rook into the game. If bishop takes, I'll take back, yep. And then I'm just one move away from winning the dark squared bishop. if white is not going to be careful. So let's see what my opponent is going to do. By the way, I'm also attacking the e4 pawn. So this is how you play against the king's pawn opening using the Paris defense. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Okay, white is asking for a trade. But what can I do here? What do I even know? Can I just take and oversimplify the game? How about this? As if I want to take this and then I play rook e8. Because sometimes in chess, it all comes down to one pawn or an extra pawn. This is how I win most of my tournament games, you guys. I just aim to remain with an extra pawn or capture one free pawn and then try to convert the end game. So you see my opponent just gave up his pawn. I think I can just take now. Yeah, like take and then take. And now I'm up a pawn. So I should be able to convert this and win. I can play rook e2 if I want. I also have this move. I think rook e2 looks more mature. Attacking the bishop. The rook on the second rank. I don't understand my opponent's move. But can I just play this? Yeah, let me just play this move. And just chasing the knight away. So you see how passive my opponent's position is becoming. All because of my gameplay. It seems he doesn't have any sensible moves. The rook is overused, defending the bishop. And the queen can't even move because of mate. The knight, maybe knight f3 is the only thing that my opponent can do. Okay, bishop g5, I didn't see this coming, but where is the threat? I don't see anything yet, but I mean, I can just go knight. Yeah, let me just play knight e5. And now I can take, right? Because I have this. Or what if I just play knight d3 and then this? Yeah, I think let me do this. I just want to complicate things. I mean, taking the knight was going to oversimplify things. Okay, my opponent is playing so well, honestly speaking. I see the move knight g5, but anyways, I have queen e3 check like this. And then I can play this move, right? Connecting my everything. Guys, this is how you play the game of chess. I think I can just take now. Can I do this? Can I take with my rook? Yeah, I think taking with my rook is justifiable. No, my thing is now overused. Okay, my opponent somehow blundered. But anyways, I was still winning. Okay, so my opponent just resigned. Did I blunder somewhere here? I think I should have taken on g2 with my knight. Let's see what Stockfish says in this position. Let's see from the eval bar. Yes. So Stockfish confirms I should have taken with the knight, not my rook. What did I do? So you can see the eval bar, you can see how the eval bar dropped all the way from -5, and now the game is back to equal, because all that white needed to do was to take my other knight, and then I was going to play something like queen e2, begging for a queen trade. After this, it's going to take back with my rook. So you see, in this position, I was going to be, down a piece, but Stockfish thinks this was going to be a draw. So my knight was going to attack the rook anyways. I don't know what else white could have done here. Maybe rook d1, but after this I had knight takes. Okay, so it's because of my pawns, my 2 extra pawns, which shows why Stockfish gives me a slight advantage despite being down a piece. Anyways, all in all, this was going to be a draw, so I blundered in the end game. I mean, after taking on g2 with my rook, I should have taken with my knight, but due to time pressure, my opponent, just gave up their queen, and then it was easy for me to start chopping off all the pieces. Anyway, I hope you guys learned 1 or 2 things. Once again, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Now, time for you to go and check out my new E5 defense course, which I have also linked in the comment section down below. And I'm glad to say, so far it has received a lot of attention and people are getting it like crazy. So it's an opening response that you try against White's E4 opening. You're going to learn how to play against the Scotch, the Royal Pace, the Bishop's opening, 3 Knights opening, the 4 Knights game, the Vienna game, even the Italian game. So it's the complete E5 defense course that I just launched with my team. You better go and check it out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.